Okay, let's get into the mailbag here. Does that sound good? We'll do a little mailbag and wrap this up.
Oh, I always love the mailbag.
All right.
And remember, folks, if you want to submit questions to the mailbag, we post on our YouTube community page. We get to a surprising number of them, and we read and think about all of them. So if there's something you want us to answer, it can be football, not football, put it in the mailbag.
We'll start with Jeremy, who and thanks, Jeremy. He leaves a lot of questions and comments for us. So Jeremy had, I believe, 3 questions here. We'll hit all of them. He says, "Do you ever watch the videos put out by Tom Grossi and Annie Agar? Tom's been making some awesome fan reaction videos on this offseason's free agency." For me, I'll let you go as well, Ziggy. I haven't seen Annie's videos. Tom naturally comes across my page because he's so big. Actually, no, I have seen Annie. I have seen some of Annie's videos as well. Yes. I don't see him too often, but I do think that Tom Grossi is one of the leading NFL guys on YouTube. I know people want us to collaborate with him because of our NFC North.
Yeah, we are not remotely on his radar.
We're not close to Tom. If anyone wants to ask Tom to work with us, we would 100% work with Tom Grossi. He's awesome. Does a great job. Does a lot of really good things too with his 30 days around all the stadiums.
He's legit.
Yeah, he seems like an awesome dude. Would love to work with him. But I have seen their content. They put out great stuff.
This is just something that's true. I watch very little NFL content. I actually don't read a lot of NFL content either. I kind of try and stay away from that stuff. But I have seen some of their videos. They're certainly entertaining. But as you might imagine, given my sort of on-air persona, they're not crunching the numbers. And the stuff that I watch is mostly number crunches. I love and respect what they do, but it is not for me.
The reactions are when you have like Minnesota fan reacts to. I do think that's a pretty niche area of the NFL YouTube world and media world where they dominate it. Okay, let's see. Jeremy also says, as a Packers fan, I've heard some Packers-centric views on Aaron Jones' usage, mainly that the Vikings don't commit to the run enough. So how do you expect to see Aaron Jones utilized in this Vikings offense? What production are you expecting out of Aaron, both for next year and against the rival NFC North teams / the Packers? I don't know if I necessarily agree that the Vikings don't run enough. I think we've had a lot of problems running in recent years. And last season, we had Alexander Madison. I loved Alexander Madison, but he became a problem with his fumbling issues. Ty Chandler, when he took over, played well. I think Aaron's going to get a good amount of touches per game and use him out of the backfield too. That's what's awesome about Aaron Jones is he can catch, he can run. I'd expect him to get 15 touches a game, roughly somewhere.
I think he's going to be on a kind of
a little bit of a snap. Yeah,
just because he's really good, but. No, the Vikings, they have this reputation because they were the absolute dead last in the NFL on first down rushing percentage. And were third to last in the NFL in total run percentage. But it's not like Green Bay ran the ball a ton either. They were one of the more pass-heavy teams in the league. So no, I think you're going to see relatively similar usage. And then when you get to the playoffs, it's so matchup dependent. And let me be clear, the Vikings are getting to the playoffs next year. So we'll see how that goes then.
I wonder what our rushing numbers looked like post-Kirk injury, like the attempts and everything like that. We'll have to take a look. But no, I do expect 15, 18 touches maybe for Aaron Jones. You work him 12, 13 times on the ground, get some.
Yeah, the dude can run.
Yeah, he's good. Is Sam and his production? I think he'll be really good. Last one from Jeremy. Is Sam Darnold just a bridge quarterback? Can you envision any scenario with Sam Darnold turning into the next Baker Mayfield? Keep in mind that the Jets and Panthers have cemented themselves as two of the most poorly run franchises in the NFL. So Ziggy, you answered seemingly contracting.
No, it's not. Is he going to be more than a bridge quarterback? Almost certainly not. Sam Darnold is not very good. Is it possible that Sam Darnold is in fact very good? Yeah, there's a reason why there's some hype around this guy, right? But what did he actually show us in San Francisco? Basically nothing. So you look at the total pool of evidence, right? The total pool of evidence is about a good 4-game stretch in New York. And otherwise absolutely terrible. Does spending a year with Kyle Shanahan make you into an incredible quarterback if you're not? Absolutely not. Most of the guys who leave San Francisco are terrible once they're gone. So no, I am not convinced he's going to be more. But I mean, it's possible. But the Vikings, if the Vikings really thought there was a decent, or the NFL market in general really thought there was a decent chance he was going to be better, he would be going for the Gardner Minshew deal rather than the deal he actually signed.
Well, there's a chance that if Sam Darnold has a good season with the Vikings, which is certainly in the realm of possibility given the weapons we have, like I completely understand where Jeremy's coming from, saying the Jets and Panthers, there was not a lot to work with there. So given the talent in Minnesota, yeah, if Darnold plays well, maybe he's fighting for. I don't think he'll be in Minnesota because we're going to draft a quarterback and we're going to want to see them unless he really lights it up. But I think there's a world where Sam Darnold plays well enough where other teams are like, hey, maybe we'll give him a shot. Like, I don't think he's necessarily in line for a Baker Mayfield extension.
Baker Mayfield is a big outlier.
Yeah. I don't think there's much of a chance the Vikings will be extending him to be the starter. But look, if he lights the world on fire, then you have a decision to make. So there's a chance, but a low one, I'd say. Okay. Oh, here's one, Ziggy. This isn't really a question. This is more of a request that we'll satisfy here because it's nice. To contribute. No, so one of our listeners, Lindsay Blacker, who goes to Auburn, said, "Hi guys, I'm trying to promote a video for my digital marketing class at Auburn University. My group members and I made a video about March Madness, and I was wondering if you would be able to help promote it as part of our influencer outreach. Thank you." So what we're going to do is, it's kind of insane to be called influencers, but yeah, to some degree.
Is this a video about how they lost to Yale because they're terrible?
No, this is a video about they're going around asking Auburn students, it looks like, March Madness trivia questions. I took a look at the video. Apparently they need to get to 500 views for extra credit or something. So I said, you know what? Let's try and help out. So we'll attach the link, and I don't know, we'll put it somewhere on the screen here in the description. If you watch the video, see how your March Madness skills are, and then come back and finish the mailbag here. But kind of fun to try and help out if we can. I mean, I did okay on the trivia. If one of the trivia questions is which 4-seeded SEC team just lost to a bunch of future consultants and data analysts, the answer is Auburn. Oh my God, dude!
Screw the SEC, man. I hate this.
I'd love for them to play this video for the class in Auburn, and then people are not going to be happy with you. Okay, next question here. Actually, Lindsay also is in second in our pool right now, so. That really is what did it for us. If you're in second in our pool, you're dominating us. Okay, we'll give you a shout out. Regulator 9268 says, "What is each of your favorite memories as Vikings fans? Randy Moss, Culpepper, Peterson, Minneapolis Miracle. You guys have had a ton of dope players. It's kind of nice to see some positive Vikings.
Finally, a little respect.
All right, a little respect here. I mean, yeah, the Minneapolis Miracle is probably a top 5 moment in my life in terms of excitement.
I mean, that's arguably a top 5 football moment. Like, it's in terms of just single plays, there's nothing like it.
I was running around the basement down here where we are right now. All I could say was, oh my God, oh my God. Actually, if you look up PRF Viking, my just regular YouTube account, I think I posted it. And it's just me, like much younger than this, buzz cut, just going, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh yeah, no, I've got it right here. Vikings fan reacts to Diggs touchdown.
Hey, look at that titling right there. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. But yeah, Vikings fan reacts to Diggs touchdown. I'll always be biased though. Adrian Peterson was so much fun to watch. That's my favorite. Like, and any given play, the dude could just rip off. And that's why I'm skewed towards running backs. I'm biased towards running backs a lot of the time. Unfairly so, because Peterson's top 10 ever. But I loved watching him play football. Did you have anything there? I know you came on.
No, I mean, you said all the kinds of things I'd want to say, right? There's only so many moments.
It looks like, all right, I try here. I try here. It's DRGNSCLWOT. I'm thinking that's Dragon Shalovat. He says, Jack, will the Steelers... So Jack's not here, but we'll answer. Jack, will the Steelers use Russ and Fields for the best flea flicker play in history? Great to use with your idea of using Fields as a receiver from time to time, huh? That's a fun comment. I mean, look, that would be with Fields' speed, that would be a pretty electric flea flicker. If you could work in some pretty cool trick plays in Pittsburgh. Jack will enjoy that. We'll have to send him that. Matt Nels says, what is everyone's biggest what ifs in the NFL? And what do you guys think would have happened had the scenarios played out that way? You got any off the top of your head here?
You go, Paul.
I mean, obviously, as a Viking fan, one of my huge what ifs. There's a few. I'd love to have seen what would have happened if Teddy Bridgewater didn't blow up his knee. I think that he would have been a solid starting quarterback in the NFL. I guess you could go back further. Jets fans are going to wonder. Both Aaron Rodgers last season, I would have loved to have seen it. I kind of have the thought that the Jets would have just been okay. I don't know how good the offensive line really would have been in keeping Rodgers off the ground that often. And Vinny Testaverde, I believe in 1998 or 99 with the Jets, is another big what if. And then maybe one more I can throw in for you. Gosh, no, there's so many. There's two more. Drew Brees. What if he had stayed in San Diego?
Or what if Miami had passed him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If Miami had, I'm sorry, that's what I meant. If Miami had taken him, did the Dolphins have a Super Bowl? Probably, right? You'd have to guess yes, maybe. And then no Bo Jackson injury. I wonder how he would have done in chasing down some records throughout his career. Just to see what else he could have done in sports. Did you have any? I know I kind of
I'll give a quick shout out to Packers fans here. If you're talking about players being healthy, Sterling Sharp.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine if the Packers had Sterling Sharp? He had beyond a start to a Hall of Fame career, one of the best starts to a career of any player ever. That's certainly got to be a big one.
Oh,
what if Andrew Luck had an offensive line?
Yeah. I just got I'm sorry. My biggest one as a Vikings fan just came to mind. What if Brett Favre had just
thrown the ball correct? Yeah.
Just ran 5 yards forward. And you could go back before that. What if I'm going to relax here because this is the one that there's one thing that genuinely gets me upset talking football. People know it's the 2009 NFC Championship game. I can be lighthearted, back and forth, take a ton of trash talk. I don't care. Bounces off me. Not the 2009 NFC Championship game. That one pisses me off. What if we had just had 11 people in the huddle? I think it was who was it? I can't remember who it was right now. It was our fullback. Can't remember his name right now. What if we had 11 people in the huddle, didn't push the ball back? We had it on the 35-yard line. It's a run to Adrian up the middle, and you're kicking to go to the Super Bowl. Does that Viking team win the Super Bowl?
Probably.
All right, XX McLovin XX, he says, you trio ever think of crushing a small Madden tournament with your fans? You guys playing or having fun casting the games? We could cast games if we ever, we just don't have the technology right now or the usage for us to pull off Madden tournaments, I don't think. But
I've been practicing. I know how to play Madden.
Well, Ziggy and I played Madden. This is one of my favorite early Paul and Ziggy stories. I think it was freshman year of college. We're playing Madden and you were really into it for a little bit, and
before I discovered NFL Street, the greatest football game.
NFL Street's awesome. We have to play again. Maybe when you come up in October, that would be sick. Okay, we'll do that. Ziggy and I decided to play a Madden game freshman year of college, I believe it was, and I go into Ziggy's room. I'm like, I'm gonna kick his ass, and we start playing. And Ziggy is just dominating me. Absolutely dominates me. I think you had
and we're both baffled.
Or something. Oh, we're both baffled. I'm like, but I'm running and I'm seeing my guys are just like slow motion compared to Ziggy's. I'm like, what is going on here? And I think we might have even played a second game after that. Same thing happens. And finally, we go to start our second or third game. And I see that I'm on all pro and Ziggy's on rookie difficulty or something like that. And that just means for Ziggy, all the players he's playing against are playing at the easiest level, and all my players are going against, Ziggy's players are playing at a high level for the computer. So I'm like, oh, that makes total sense why my cornerback couldn't even catch up to his tight end. And then we played again. I think I won a good game.
Yeah, you won by a score.
Yeah, it was a good game, but I just remember.
No, we both lost it when we saw this.
The other question from McLovin, he says, now a football question. Why do you think there was so much drama around the Aaron Jones situation, and what led up to the issues that caused the release? I mean, I don't even know, like drama wise, I think the Packers did a good job of keeping that in house. But yeah, ultimately they wanted to pay him less money, and Aaron was like, obviously, I'm not going to keep taking these pay cuts. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they wanted to slash his salary pretty.
Yeah, they wanted him to make $4 million a year.
Yeah, what was what was he getting at the time? It was
a 70% pay cut.
Yeah, it was something really big. So yeah, I mean, I totally understand why he's upset about that. And it's a little spiteful too to go with the Vikings. No one likes being told they're going to get paid less money. A few more here. Dan Stewart says, "What's your prediction on what the Vikings do with the 2 first-round picks? Stay put or try to trade up to 3? If they trade up, what do you think the trade will look like? I see the Vikings having to trade both first-rounders, a first next year, and a later round pick swap to make it happen." Thanks for the question, Dan. I've been pretty vocal on this. I think the Vikings are going up to 3 with New England. I'm very confident we're going to move up at the very least. So I'd be surprised. I'd actually be floored if the Vikings had 2 first-round picks in this year's draft. To go up to 4 or 5, which is what it looks like it'll take at this point to land McCarthy, that's probably going to require the 2 firsts and maybe a little bit more. To go to 3, even though it's just an extra pickup, I think that would require the 2 firsts this year and next year. I think they like McCarthy a lot. I also think they would go after. What do you think? What do you think the Vikings rank Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and McCarthy?
My guess is they go May, McCarthy, Daniels.
I think that's what I go with as well.
I mean, I will just say this. I think the Vikings are going to move up for a quarterback. They're going to do their best to go to 3. It might be 4. But here's a thing to remember is every year, like quarterbacks are always drafted higher than they would be on like a draft board that ignores position. Mm-hmm. The league values quarterbacks. But every year in mock drafting, people go 1 quarterback too far and who's going to be going in the first round.
Yep.
Right. I think back, 2021, not 2021, sorry. But yeah, like, you talk about guys like Malik Willis, Deshaun Kaiser, Mason Rudolph, Drew Lock, Will Levis. People always think there's going to be that quarterback who goes. In 2020, the over for quarterbacks was 5.5. And people were freaking out about Mason Rudolph possibly making that the over. So like every year we go 1 guy too many. I do not think there will be 5 quarterbacks in the first round. There will be 4. They're probably going to go 1, 2, 3, and then like 15. The Vikings are going to try to go for 3 to get their guy.
I disagree with that. I think that the 4 will go by pick 6, 5.
People always think that. It always doesn't go out that way.
What's the over-under right now?
I think it's probably
5.5, right?
Yeah. But how many have quarterbacks ever gone 1, 2, 3, 4?
I don't think so.
But this year's different. People always say this year's different. It was supposed to be, what was it, 2020? No, the Justin Fields draft. It was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the top 4. Didn't happen. Fields slipped. Guys
4 will be
gone.
4 quarterbacks will be gone by the 6th pick for sure. I'd probably say.
All right, man. This year's different.
Dynasty 701 says, if the Vikings do not trade up in the draft and stay at 11, which quarterback do you realistically see them drafting? Let's say that you had to stay put if you're the Vikings. I don't think they would take a quarterback at 11 in that case. Because the 4 guys that we're talking about, McCarthy, Daniels, May, Caleb, will all be gone at that point. And I don't believe they value Penix or Bo Nix as 11. I can see them, if they were stuck again at 11, they're going to move up. But if they were stuck, they would then probably take a quarterback at 23 or move back a little bit. So yeah, it would probably be Penix next. Actually, it'd probably be Bo Nix. They'd probably take Bo Nix next.
It's tough to say between Penix and Bo Nix. I probably like Penix more. I don't really like either of them in the first round. But the Vikings moved up they've got that number 23 first round pick to move up. There's no question about it. They will be moving up in the draft.
Malone Drum says, if you could steal 1 player from each of your NFC North rivals, who would you take? And what 3 players do you suspect would be taken from the Vikings in return? All right, so look, obviously with the Packers, we're taking Jordan Love. Like, we've made that very clear. We're going to take Jordan Love from the Packers. The Vikings are in the spot where I would probably just take the quarterback. Like, I take Caleb Williams, from the Bears, let's say for guys currently on the team.
Montez Sweat,
maybe Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
Jalen Johnson or Sweat. I mean, we need a lot of help
DJ Moore would also be fun.
I like DJ Moore a lot, but for what we need,
we don't need him.
Like Jalen Johnson, I think would be huge. I'm not a huge fan of our cornerback room for many years now, but Sweat was so good. I mean, the instant impact he made on Chicago's defense, it would be one of those two guys. In Detroit, probably Aiden Hutchinson.
I could also, I know we had a decent offensive line last year, but Penei Sewell would be a big upgrade.
Yeah. I was thinking Sewell, Ragnow also. It's phenomenal.
Ragnow is excellent, but center doesn't. I'd much rather have the tackle than the center.
Who's the other guard in Detroit? And they have Ziegler now.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, it would be Sewell or is there someone else I'm forgetting?
I mean, Amon-Ra is really good, but for the same reason you wouldn't take DJ Moore.
No, I'm taking Hutchinson. I mean, that dude is just an
freak.
And who would you take? I mean, everyone would take Jefferson.
But there's only one Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, so you could take Jefferson.
TJ Hawkinson, Brian O'Neill.
I think Hawkinson would be a big one. And then, I mean, Darisaw would be.
Oh, yeah, Darisaw, of course.
Is there anyone from our defense? There's probably no one from our defense that you'd want.
No. I mean, we have some okay defensive players. If you had prime Harrison Smith, sure, but he's 35 now.
I would rank it Jefferson, Darisaw, and then probably... God, dude, probably Hawkinson next.
Hawkinson's a very good player.
Oh, no, Hawkinson's great. I was just thinking like, I was just trying to think about like, I'm just sad that the other teams all have quarterbacks and we don't. Few more here and we're done. Stuckman says, don't you love a trio of off-topic questions to add some variety to the mailbags? Yes, we do. A general question to everyone present. What types of music do you guys listen to? Paul strikes me as the type to really like classical or country. Well, I'm not really a classical music guy. I enjoy it. Like if you throw it on, our roommate, or my old roommate, Will Cooch, big classical music guy. I enjoy it. I do like country music a lot of like pop country. But for me, it's country, pop country, probably classic rock. Bruce Springsteen's, as a Jersey guy, my favorite artist. And I would say the third head of my music listening these days. Unfortunately, during COVID, I would drive my sister around all the time. And I started to really like, Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo, One Direction. The like 14-year-old girl music, I do really enjoy that as well. How about you, Ziggy?
Did I get any predictions?
No predictions.
Yeah, well, so I don't want to think about Olivia Rodrigo because in my high school, I was sandwiched right between Zendaya and Olivia Rodrigo. So there were a lot of possibilities. I mean, my knowledge would have wowed them. And I wouldn't be doing the Paul Farrington show, that's for sure. So
those are probably two of my top celebrity crushes. Very jealous. Oh, I guess not jealous, but...
Yeah, no, it didn't go anywhere. But so if I'm building a three-headed dragon,
it didn't go anywhere.
It could have. If I were just a couple years younger. Instead, I was stuck with Manny from Modern Family, who I was not interested in dating.
There we go.
Yeah. So music genres. Is experimental a genre? That's probably my most listened to genre.
What? Like what?
Like Colin Stetson, I think, is a really good example of this. I mean, he's sort of jazz, but he's kind of just doing his own thing.
I've heard. Yeah. You showed me this.
I listened to some strange stuff there. Like trans ethnicism, like stuff.
What is coming out of your mouth right now?
The second would probably be free jazz. I really like free jazz. Avant-garde jazz more generally, always very good. And then hip hop, 90s hip hop. I listen to a lot of that.
Are you?
I'm like, you put on a good like you put on some Pharoah Sanders. Like there's some incredible free jazz albums.
And then straight to 90s hip hop.
Look, man, there is a strand here that you can follow that makes sense. And someone in the comments is going to get it.
That's too good. Secondly, what NFL fan bases do you hate the most? I think it's important to respect all teams and appreciate the good people that exist for every team. But we all have those fan bases we can't stand or teams we dislike/hate because of their fans. So let's be honest and share those we dislike. Everyone has at least one or two. He says, here, I'll start. Bears, Cowboys, and Browns. Do you have any?
I don't really have a fan base. I get that sounds diplomatic because we're running a general sports podcast, but there's no fan base where I look at them and think I don't like anyone who's a fan of that team.
Yeah, there's no one. I mean, I hate the Saints. Hate the Saints. I don't really hate the fans or anything like that. I wished eternal misery on the Saints after the Super Bowl. It's been pretty miserable to be a Saints fan, so I'm very happy about that.
I would say the Browns fans that went all in on the Deshaun Watson thing, I didn't like that, but that wasn't the whole fan base.
No, there is. I mean, there are some fan bases that the Eagles fans, and I have a lot of friends who are big Eagles fans, and I
but you win a game and the city burns down.
Yeah, I mean, I really like most, basically every single fan base. I like everyone, but the Eagles fans, I do think are pretty over the top. a lot of them are. They kind of piss me off. It would be Eagles fans, especially being here in Jersey. I mean, I can like the people I know who are Eagles fans, but a lot of them are piss me off. Finally, when do we get to join a Discord server? I know I'd love to get to know some fans of you and you guys, especially since this is a great show with a neat community. It could also allow you guys to have more direct interactions with the fan base. Be it in VCs or just fun events / giveaways every once in a while. I mean, that's a great idea. Like we would really like to do that. It's just a matter of as the show.
We need to get a critical mass of subscribers.
Yeah, as we continue to grow, the hope is that by next football season, during the year, we can start to do stuff like that. Because yeah, it's a great idea, and we really like when we go live. It's super fun just to talk with listeners and see what they're thinking. As much fun as we have actually doing the show. Like the whole point of this is that it's fun to interact with people and see what comments people leave and joking back and forth. Like that's what I get out of it. So hopefully we can do that as we get a little bigger. I've said this for people who try and do these sorts of things. If every few months you can make a big step, that's when you're doing it the right way. So hopefully that's one of those big steps that we can take. And the last question from James Library. He says, this is good. Sorry about calling you Jake, Jack. I'm going to ask this on behalf of my buddy who's a sad Titans fan after King Henry left. What do you guys think of Will Levis after they got Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, still have D-Hop on their roster? Keep up the amazing work. I love listening to all of your shows you post. They do still have Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about the Titans actually at length earlier in the show, if you're just watching the mailbag, about free agency reaction. Ziggy's not a huge fan of the deals that they made in particular, like Calvin Ridley. It's an expensive deal for Calvin Ridley, but let's just look at the players. I like it a lot for Levis. I think Pollard was weirdly used in Dallas last year. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I haven't dove that.
It worries me the way he was used there, that he's not who we thought he was, but the Titans disagree.
Yeah, that was a strange situation. But in terms of weapons you have, between Ridley, Hopkins, and Pollard, that's a nice trio for a young quarterback to have. It's certainly better than just rolling out Hopkins and the rest of the team from last year. So I think they did the best they could to surround him with playmakers, and I'm excited for it. If Ridley can live up to what you're hoping for, all of a sudden now you have viable weapons in Tennessee. So I like it. I think that the Titans are, as we said, I think last year I said they had a shot. But I think the Titans, if Levis takes the right step forward, could flirt with competitiveness.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Levis is the offensive line last year was an affront to all things holy in football. I mean, Will Levis was getting pressured in some games on literally half of his dropbacks. It's very difficult to succeed in that situation, but he looked all right. The Miami game was good. The Atlanta game was good.
Your game was good, right?
Yeah, so he put together some good games. Now he put together some really bad games, right? But overall, I think he looked more good than bad. And with a rookie quarterback who was obviously going to be a project, I think there's a lot to be excited about with him.
Yeah.
Now you need to keep building things around him, right? He was much better last year on play action than not on play action. That tells me you need to get the offensive line better and need to get the run game going. But there's something to be excited about. And if I'm a Titans fan, I want to see what Levis can do. There's a non-zero chance he's going to turn out to be pretty good. And that's exciting.
No,
I like him. Given what we've seen, I like him more than some of the quarterbacks who are going to go top 5 in this year's draft.
Oh, I think he's right up there in terms of, the expectations that you could have and the excitement. Will Levis kind of flew under the radar last year. A lot of that is because the Titans were not competitive. But no, when he played well, he looked very good. And the arm looked more than capable enough of his arms. He got a rocket launcher. So I think it's really exciting. And D-Hop is still awesome. So yeah, that's exciting time still to be a Titans fan with a young quarterback like that. So that'll do it for today's show. I mean, a lot of recording. A lot of recording on today's show.
I told you at the start this was going to be a long one.
Yeah, no. I mean, when you go into the show and you say, yeah, we'll hit a couple teams on free agency, that opens the door to these long records. So for anyone who's watched the whole way through, I'm not sure if we're going to split it up or not yet. Sometimes it's a little easier to do that. But if we don't and you watch the entire thing, or if you watch both videos, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Please remember to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 10,000. We're trying really hard to get there by the draft. I think we're going to get there. Looks pretty good right now. It'd be kind of sad if we didn't. So for everyone who's been watching, thanks a lot, Ziggy. And you have any closing thoughts? Or are we good to
No, I think we're good. It's going to be interesting to see how this offseason plays out next year, but it's about to be draft season. Yeah, we're about to turn into April, and it's crazy how quick it all comes. Like this was the quiet time of the year for us these past couple of weeks now, or really this week. So time to get busy again. And maybe June we can relax. So, all right. Thanks for everyone who listened, and we'll see you next time.